Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
Broadcasting around the world.
Well, hello.
This is your number one internet radio station.
Here's my story, it's sad but true. It's about a girl that I once knew. She took my love, then ran around with every single guy in town. Come on, hey, hey, whoa.
You alright now? Have you done? Have you finished?
Done, love.
Hello and welcome back to Zoe and Connor's Wednesday Kickabout.
Said it wrong already, haven't you, Rich?
No, it is Wednesday.
No, but she said Zoe's and Connor's.
Oh.
False advertisement.
Connor and Zoe's Wednesday Kickabout. We are well and truly underway with the Super League season, so we are going to concentrate on rugby this evening. Round one of the Super League season, and we have had some quite interesting results. So we are going to look through the results from the weekend, give a bit of our analysis from each game, and look ahead to this weekend's games as well. We've got our predictions from last week, so we'll have to see how we've done. I know I've done absolutely shocking.
I've done well.
Yeah, you've done well.
5 out of 6.
Yeah.
I can't believe which team let me down.
We'll go on to that later. So stick around for the next hour. We are on Smile Radio for the next hour, and we'll be discussing all things Super League. And first off, we are going to go for St Helens and Wigan.
Yeah,
aren't we?
the Thursday night game, which kicks us
I
off.
was so close as well on this one to getting full points on my prediction.
Yeah, you are.
If Mark Percival hadn't missed that kick, I would have got the score exactly right.
Yeah, well, close, but no cigar, as I say.
22-12, and I'd gone 24-12.
Do you? I'm watching game on Thursday.
I do think that scoreline flatters St Helens a little bit. I think it was closer
I
than
thought,
that.
yeah. Well, I don't know. 10 point. I think it was just a close game, full stop. To be honest with you, I thought that we haven't really learnt too much about either side just by that game. I think Wigan were there or thereabouts. Obviously, we knew that they were probably going to be a bit slower to get going than Saints are. Obviously, new half, full-back combos and things like that. And obviously, Adrian Lamb, new coach. Saints were good, and Wigan were all right as well. I think if we didn't know already, we now know that Kevin Nagama is going to be a really good player this year in Super League.
Yeah, that was a good. He scored a really good try. Showed his strength as well to sort of get over the line. And what was interesting for me as well, we spoke about this off air. Justin Holbrook's decision to leave Danny Richardson out. Now, he was last week your player to watch.
Well, for this season, but I did actually pre-match. I did actually call that to go with Fage. I said one of my colleagues at work were picking his dream team, and he says, I said, don't put Richardson in. I says, he won't play. Yeah. I'll put him in. Puts him in. I text him as soon as teams were announced. Says, told you Richardson won't be playing, but no, like you say, it's a little bit of an interesting one that. I don't know.
Well, I would have thought he'd played, but I thought Fage did really well, particularly in defence as well. He was really strong for such a little man.
I think that's the reasoning behind it as well.
It just added a little bit something different to Richardson, I think. And obviously, Richardson is usually their kicker, but I thought Mark Percival did just as well with the boot as well. So all in all, they've got Richardson if they want to call on him, but for me I thought that Lomax and Fage worked well together, and then Lachlan Coote as well, full back. What did you make of his debut?
I thought he did alright. He's a bit smaller than I thought he was.
Yeah.
I think he did alright without doing anything too spectacular.
I thought it looked a bit suspect. There were a couple of balls that he dropped early on, and I thought it did look a bit suspect, but then defensively, I thought he was good. He read the game well, but I don't think he was outstanding.
I thought he would
by any stretch.
He was decent. You know, he supported well from fullback. If you look, whenever Saints made a break, Coote was always the one around the ruck, around that sort of area from there. And just one player that I I see as a little bit of a weak link in that Saints side. As much as he's decent going forward, I think Regan Grace is a little bit suspect under the eyeball and defensively. You've obviously got Makinson on the other side.
He needs to sort of strengthen up a little bit, I think.
Class. I just think that's probably... I look down the side and the quality all over, you know, and even on the players coming off the bench as well, the quality, and I just see that left wing spot that Regan Grace is occupying at the minute. I see that being just that little weak link. But to be honest, it's not bad when the team is 17 and you've only got one player that you perhaps a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's still got good finishing qualities.
I wouldn't know who to.
Well, they haven't.
They've not got anybody to play.
They've got Swift, and Swift isn't as good as him, so no, they haven't.
And there was obviously talk, would they miss Ben Barba? Obviously, he's gone. That's a completely another story as well to talk about.
But news broke the other day.
Yeah.
That the RFL will block a move to Super League.
Which I think is
should he get sacked from the NRL,
which is the correct decision. But I think Coote looks completely different player to Ben Barba, I think. But I think he'll be just as good for Saints.
Yeah, well, Lomax.
He offers something. He offers something a bit different to Barba. Barba was just, like you said, had a little bit of spark. But I think Coote's a bit more reliable.
But it's not like they're desperate for that from a fullback.
Exactly.
Because Lomax has it playing at standoff, and he, whether it's Richardson or Farge that plays scrum half, I think they've got a little bit of something about them as well. So, you know, I think
so they're not going to miss it. They'll do. Yeah.
And I was listening to a podcast, well, not a podcast, a live radio show in midweek. Rocky Hampshire were on it with Ryan Braley. And Ryan Braley, who plays with him at Scotland, says that he's special. He's the best player he's ever played with, Lachlan Coote. So it's a big statement, but obviously he must have something about him. And he was all right. He's only going to get better.
Yeah.
As for Wigan, I thought they were all right.
Yeah.
There's a couple of players in Wigan's team that I just really don't get at the minute. I don't get Tommy Luluai.
No.
What is he? Is he a running half? But even when he plays half, there's no sort of... Is he a running half? Is he a controlling half? He's tough defensively, always has been great defensively, but I just don't see at the minute what he offers with the ball. I think
that didn't really work for me, the Williams and Luluai.
That's been a question,
not,
you know.
I don't think each other knows really what their role is, and did look a bit suspect at times. But we'll see if that grows throughout the season. But I'm not 100% sure.
And Jared Sammett's suspended. I think for me, when he's back, I'd throw Sammett in there at scrum half, me over Luluai. I'd maybe carry Luluai on the bench just to maybe give Sam Powell that breather, who Sam Powell's put a bit of weight on from what I saw, but he's a decent player, you know.
He's all right. I mean,
he's a grafter.
Conceded a couple of penalties, didn't he? And it was all right for me. I didn't provide anything special, but I thought
he's not gonna. He never will, you know.
But I thought Wigan were all right, and that was it. I don't think they provided anything special.
Nagama gave Gildart a tough time, didn't he? Gildart were a bit off it.
He just looked strong, didn't he? And
But Wigan will be all right. I think Wigan will be fine.
They'll be there or thereabouts.
They've enough good players in there
to. Right result. In the end.
Yeah, definitely.
And James Roby capping off his new contract deal with a try as well, didn't he? Got the last try. It'll be at Saints for another 3 years, is it?
Another 3? Is it 2?
Oh, 2. 2 or 3, can't remember.
He's going to be playing when he's 60 like a robot as Roby, but he's still
but he's no slowing down. He's still got it. He's just one of the best for me. Yeah. So
moving on to Friday, and one game where we had different views.
We both got 2 points for that, didn't we, on the predictions? The Saints game, because we both picked Saints to win.
Yeah, we did. We both went for Saints. So Castleford, Catalan at the Mendo's Jungle. I went Cass, you went Catalan.
Yeah.
Cass did win by 16 points, just in case.
20 points to 4.
Yeah, that would. I think I went Cass by about 10, did I, or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
So it was probably similar to what I did expect, I think. And they lined up how I expected as well.
Yeah. wasn't really any shocks, was there?
No, Truman and Rankin in the halves. No place for Ben Roberts. I know we were in the night team, but there was no place for him in them. And Matautia at fullback, who had a decent game. But standout player from what I'm hearing, obviously didn't see the game, is Paul McShane.
Yeah.
Being given that responsibility, as we discussed last week, goal kicking as well.
Yeah, and he's going to be that general on the pitch, I think, with Luke Gale out. He's just that wise head in the side, and he'll control things from hooker. I know, obviously, you've got your Jake Truman and Jordan Rankin partnership, but
no, there's not any. Truman will guide the team in outfield. Not a problem with that. Not a problem.
Yeah, but it sounds as though I didn't see the game, but it sounds as McShane kind of took that role on Friday, and he was everywhere on the pitch.
Yeah, and he crossed for a try, kicking goals as well, and he's like you said, he's going to be key. I think I don't think there's too much of a shock with the way Cass sort of played. I think McShane's just around the ruck, he's just very, very deceptive as well, and he's got that. It's funny with McShane because you look at his shape and you think, oh, he's not in ideal shape, but he's so fit. He's so fit, and he'll do 80 minutes week in, week out, and he's not just a grafter, but he's got that touch of class as well as being able to do the grafting style. So for me, he's up there with one of the best hookers in the comp. And another player who got rave reviews from what I'm reading is Liam Watts, who they signed mid-season. I think now he's had a pre-season behind him. He had a disruptive last year at Hull, didn't he, with suspensions and what have you, and probably enjoying his ale a bit too much. But he seems to have settled down at Cass now, and when you've
had a really good game apart from
well, when you've got a front row at Watts, McShane and Millington, there's not many better in the comp. And then when you can bring on Junior Moores and Alex Foster,
Matt Cook.
Yeah, Alex Foster has been a revelation. You know, I remember people sort of saying.
I sort of wrote him off.
Well, I think everybody did, including people internally at Cass as well. They sort of said, but. You know, he just seems to be a different player, and he's playing with that confidence. And Darryl Powell sort of trusts him now, and he can play edge. He can play down the middle. He can play centre. You know, he's just a good athlete. So Cass have put a positive. They're going to be thereabouts for me. Cass. They'll be good enough at home. You know, and the key, like you say, is keeping McShane fit, because obviously losing Gale, they can't afford to lose another leader.
If they lose McShane, then I think they'll struggle. But if they can keep him fit and they can keep him on the pitch, then they should be all right. I think I don't know. I don't know can't predict where they're going to finish. But obviously it's only been one game, but they did look good, and I think they'll top 5 or top 6 definitely.
And on Catalans, I remember we were speaking about them last week.
Slow start, but they've had the last couple of seasons. They've had slow starts, and they need to sort of pick that up a bit. And we've got Huddersfield at home this weekend.
They'll win that one.
So they should win. I mean, Huddersfield. We'll go on to that later, but they've got quite a few key players out of Huddersfield. But I think they'll do well, Catalan. They had a tough start against Cass, but I think they'll win on Saturday.
See, another thing as well that we said last week with Catalan, what they're going to do with the pivots and things like that. And they did what I said, didn't they? They put Lange in centre. They put Lange at centre, so they had Gigo at
I think we did
half.
call it. I think we called it last week.
Tompkins at full-back, Gigo at half, Lange in the centre, and then that moves David Mead onto the wing. By all accounts, didn't have the best evening, did David Mead on the wing. More accustomed to that centre position. So it's just a worry at Catalan.
It's just gelling. It's just got to get in the.
Yeah.
I think once they do, I think that's a killer lineup. I think Gigo and in the halves as well, and Tompkins at the back, I think.
But they could be guilty of just having a few too many players that want to get their hands on the ball a little bit.
Yeah, too many selfish
which
players.
Which is probably what I'll come on to when I'm speaking about another team later on. But they're probably just a little bit guilty of having too many hands on the ball. And, you know, it'll take time. Look, different combinations as we discussed with Wigan there from the fullback and the halves. But Catalan, they're renowned for starting slow. I don't think there's many shocks with what happened in that first game, and like we've just said, they'll beat Huddersfield this weekend. definitely.
Yeah, it's at Catalans. I don't think there's any doubt that they'll beat them, but we'll go on to that later.
So we might as well just go on about Huddersfield now.
Yeah. Well, I said originally because I thought they were. I tipped
Yeah.
Huddersfield, and I thought, they'll do at home. But then on the night of the game, I read how many players they had out, and I looked at that starting line and I thought, why have they gone for Huddersfield to win? I mean, they had Isaac Farrell in the halves with Matt Frawley. That obviously didn't work. I don't think.
Scott Griggs at fullback.
Scott Griggs obviously coming. He was only meant to coach this season, wasn't he? But they've registered him in time for the first game of the season. I don't think many of them did much really.
Well, from what I saw, I thought
the
McIntosh and Uarte on wings were pathetic.
Uarte was rubbish on all accounts.
What did I say, Zoe, last week? What did I say? I says I don't think he's not going to be all what we make out to be, this Uarte.
Well, you know best, don't you, love?
I'm not. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think he will. I don't think he'll. For money he's on, I don't think he'll live up to that for me. But I watched all tries. Obviously, didn't see the game, and our club photographer were actually covering that game, and he said that McIntosh and McGilvery, not McIntosh and
McGilvery's
Uarte,
out for a couple of weeks.
They were non-existent in defence. So that's an heavy, and the thing is with McIntosh, although he has been trained at fullback and he was set to be the fullback this year, he's played wing throughout all his career so far. So I can understand sometimes if somebody goes out on the wing who's never played there, because it is actually, people say, oh, you've got to defend out wide. There's more to it, because you've got to know when to go in with your centre, when to stay out, when to shoot him, when to drop back, when to hold your wing, and things like that. But McIntosh knows what to do, and just him and Uarte just not good enough for me, and Huddersfield as well. And I spoke last week. I said I do not think their squad is good enough. If they can keep players fit, they'll do all right. But the squad is not good enough.
The depth in the squad, like we saw, I can't get my words out tonight. The depth in the squad, like we saw on Friday, is not deep enough, not strong enough.
Hewitt, I've never heard of him. Warren, they wanted rid of.
Yeah.
Ikahifo, they wanted rid of.
Yeah.
Leeming, good player, like Cruz Leeming. Isaac Farrell, squad number 34. He was shipped out on loan last year. Let me just have a look at other players.
They were playing at Batley, was Isaac Farrell.
The squad is just not good enough.
No.
They're just not good enough, and that was proved. But Salford, outstanding.
We'll have to talk about Niall Evans and how good he is.
Who am I player to watch last week? Niall Evans, hat-trick. He got a hat-trick. And it could have been a lot more.
And he set up another try as well.
It could have been a lot more, Salford, because they scored 7 tries. They only kicked 3 goals. One of them was a penalty. So there's a bit of... I don't know why Jackson Hastings wasn't kicking. I don't know that, because he kicked last year, didn't he, when he came over? It was Lussick who were kicking, and CO kicked one as well. But, they've got tries in them, Salford, and if... They're a funny team, but if they keep, that'll give them confidence now to just kick on a little bit and try and get as many wins as they can. By all, Lee Mossop did the full. Did he do the full 8? I think he might have done the full 80, or he did get close to it.
There or thereabouts.
Saying. So positive I think for Salford.
I think they'll struggle coming up against the bigger teams, and we'll see, obviously, in the next couple of weeks, but it eased them into it against Huddersfield, I think, and they scored some good tries. Now Levels looks good. Jackson Hastings, obviously, we saw him last year when he came over. He's in for another good season. So it'll give them that confidence boost, and they're second in the table. So
on to the old derby now. Now, I'm going to not big myself up again, but one thing I mentioned last week is Jamie Shaw. Massive season for him. Needs to get back to the form he showed when he first burst onto the scene. What I saw on Friday night is the loose link in that team. Every time he linked, and they scored a good try, did all, and Shaw was involved in it, right?
But defensively,
but purely because
there were a couple of instances when he was getting confused with Dawson Jones, and there was an incident where they were lucky enough
rubbish, that Dawson
Jones.
Jones.
And they were just getting confused with each other and didn't know what each other were doing, and just didn't look I wouldn't have any confidence in them if I were.
The thing is, I watched Jamie Shaw. Can you recall Jamie Shaw creating a try from linking in at fullback and doing a miss out pass to a winger?
What on
No,
Friday?
Just in general. If you're thinking of Jamie Shaw, you're thinking of him making a break out of nowhere and scoring.
Yeah.
Which is all well and good, but that only happens every now and then. He needs to. For me, that he's not the answer at fullback for Hull. And every time the ball goes out on that second phase, he's lost. You know,
who is the answer
his
for
timing. Jake Connor would be my fullback for Hull if I were picking the team. Shaw won't be in it. I'd have Connor at fullback and have Kelly and Sneed at halfback. I
thought you said last week you wanted Connor in the halves.
Well, I want Jake Connor getting his hands on ball, and until I actually watched Jamie Shaw's performance on Friday, that's I think Connor. I think that'd be best for Hull. Connor at fullback, Kelly and Sneed in the halves, and Jamie Shaw has got some work to do. I think that's the best three for me. But all that, and I mean, they had Danny Washbrook at 6, didn't they? Well, who played all right. Don't get me wrong. I thought Washy did all right at 6.
Defensively, he did well, but
he's good. He's always going to do defensively, and he did set up a nice try with a nice little intelligent kick, and he's always got that in his locker. But OKR had more football. It'd have been a different story.
Yeah, but it'd have been a different story if Jimmy Kainos hadn't scored in the last 30 seconds of the game. Hull would be winning,
but I do think that the scoreline was a fair result. I do think OKR over the 80 minutes were the better team.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree.
But as I said about Catalan having too many players getting their hands on the ball, I worry a little bit with OKR, you know. And Chris Atkin into fullback for me. He's a halfback playing at fullback. Maguire and Drinkwater are the same sort of player.
They're too similar to
and
having
Chris
the halves
Atkin,
together.
Who's another half. They're just too many generals rather than somebody that's more destructive. It's all well and good if you play it to a certain system, and obviously Team Sheens is smart enough to get the best out of them. I just think for me that's a little bit of a worry that they could be perhaps too one-dimensional and not have somebody who can, you know, do something out of nothing or take the line on and break the line. That's probably for me. The worry is they're probably a little bit one-dimensional. But, you know, it's not bad to have them players in the pivot positions, and they'll do all right. That's just the only sort of worry for me. And I do think the pack's not the best as well. But they deserve to beat Hull.
They did, yeah. And I thought Mitch Garbutt had a fantastic game on his debut coming off the bench. He made something like 161 tackles, more than anyone else on the field. I thought he came on and played really well. And Jimmy Kainos, he was another one that we said we were a player to watch. Didn't really.
But that Kainos doesn't do much, does he? But what he does, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Joe Arundel at Wakey.
Yeah.
He's always, you know what you're going to get from him week in, week out. Solid defensively, good with the ball, knows when to pass, knows when to carry.
And score.
And he can score a try. He can score a try. But Kainos, great signing for him.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Well, we'll go on to Saturday. Should we have a song?
How far are we in? How are we getting excited?
23 minutes already, kid.
Oh, we'll have a song then, can't we? We've timed it well, haven't we?
We can have a song.
So, are we going to go?
Is that what it is? He's just whispered the song to me.
We've only got two. So.
Yes, it's Rise Up by Andra Day. It's one of my favourites at the minute, this, actually.
So why is that, Zoe? Why have you picked this one?
I don't know, it's just quite uplifting. I like this. I like it. Makes me feel good.
Right.
Makes me feel good.
Well, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're listening to Connor and Zoe Wednesday night kickabout. I can't even say it either.
Sorry, which in my ears, I couldn't hear.
College Grove Nursery in Wakefield has been providing the highest standard of childcare for over 22 years. Situated on Eastmoor Road, we are close to the M1 and M62 motorway network and also convenient for Wakefield city centre, schools and major places of employment. For more details, check out our website at www.collegegrovenursery.co.uk or give us a call on 01924 200 120 to arrange a visit. College Grove, a special nursery which takes a hand, opens a mind and touches a heart.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. You, the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Never heard of it.
You wouldn't. You like you listen to James Blunt.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Oh dear. Anyway, we're back.
We're back.
We're back on Zoe and Connor and Zoe's. Zoe and Connor.
She keeps saying it,
I
doesn't
think
she?
it sounds better, Zoe
No,
and
it
Connor.
doesn't. No, it doesn't at all.
It does.
Connie and Zoe's Wednesday night kickabout.
What? Lost my words.
So where were we Saturday?
Yes,
Warrington Leeds.
we're moving on to Warrington against Leeds. 26-6. I think we both went for quite substantial win.
I think I went a bit closer. I thought it'd be a bit closer. But I
can't remember what I went
but
for.
on I'm not surprised that Warrington won by that margin.
Well, it was 26-0 for a while. Now I didn't see it. It was on Sky, wasn't it, on Saturday afternoon? I didn't see it, but
well, I only saw bits. I were at Ellen Road actually.
yeah. Oof. from Elland Road, weren't you?
But by all accounts, they were absolutely rubbish with Leeds. Absolutely rubbish.
Yeah,
And to be honest, I mean, I'm looking at the bench now. Brad Singleton, Brad Dwyer, Mikolaj Oledzki and James Donaldson. And Warrington's bench, right? Jason Clark, Ben Murdoch-Masilla, Danny Walker and Joe Philbin.
I know which bench I'd rather have.
Exactly. But Warrington are going to be good, aren't they? I think we all know that. Warrington even had a man sin-binned in the first half and still...
Yeah, Jack Hughes got sin-binned,
They still won at half 20-0.
Yeah.
And
Blake Austin came and scored a try on his debut, and Ratchford kicked all the goals and scored a try. He was fantastic by all accounts, but he always is, isn't he? He's just a good full-back.
Yeah. Leeds, I think, they're only scoring 6 points. That just says a lot about what we've spoke about all in the off-season. No, not enough creativity and not enough in the halves. For me, I know a lot. I don't think we've seen enough yet. We can't sort of say that after they've no creativity in the halves. They haven't got any. They haven't at all. And I think Jack Walker, whilst he's going to be good, I don't think he's. I think. Look, he's going to be a good player, is Jack Walker, but I think he's a lot of learning to do, and he's no competition, has he? Because Ashton Golding's out of favour at Leeds. Yeah. He doesn't look like he's going to get a gig at all. So he's no competition as Jack Walker. So is he in his comfort zone a little bit? May well be. Leeds, they've got some good players, but they're going to struggle. And I think that's my assumption.
Well, I always thought they weren't going to be in top 5 this year. I just think they've had a lot of changes. New coach, all that. I just don't think, for me, I don't think they're as good as other teams out there, and I don't think that they'll do much this season. And like we saw on Saturday, I think it is still a bit. Obviously, it's only round 1, so we don't know. We've not had enough time to see them play, but it doesn't look like they've kind of gelled together on Saturday. They've not created any real opportunities apart from that try towards the end. But I don't really know what more to say on them, to be honest.
No.
Where do you see tries coming from? Where do you see them making that creativity?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Can't answer your question on that one. I don't know. I think Briscoe's an average winger. Handley, he's not an elite winger, is he? He's all right, but he's not an elite winger. It's good centres. Halves not good enough. Front row, I mean, Cuthbertson had a great first season, absolutely outstanding. What's he done since? Parcell, great first season, but very average last year and has been since. Trent Merrin, workhorse. That's about it. Stevie Ward, good player when fit, only plays 4 games a season. Sutcliffe, not good enough. Ferris, not good enough. Well, I'm probably being a bit harsh here, but Sutcliffe, nobody knows what position he is. If you're asking me, I played in the back row. If you're saying is he good enough to be a back rower in a team that wants to be fighting at the top of the table? No. For me, no. And Brett Ferris, since he's been to Leeds, I know he's had his injury problems and things like that, but he's done nothing. No. He hasn't done anything. So when you've got Sutcliffe and Ferris as your second rowers, and who played loose forward for him? Stevie Ward. Yeah, Stevie Ward. So he's a. He's
just
a
looking
good
down
player.
the team sheet.
Yeah. Well, it's in reverse order, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's in number order, so we're struggling to put it together.
Ash Handley, but he wasn't playing.
Ash Handley at loose forward. He played wing, didn't he? Played up wing, didn't he, Handley? Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's in number order, but yeah, I just don't see.
And that from what I saw of what's his face centre Hurrell. Every time he got bought, he just wanted to bump him off and do this stupid offload. He was just throwing it to nobody. Just stupidity. So who they got this week?
I will tell you in 2 minutes. They've got Wigan on Friday.
Where at? It'll be at Leeds, won't it?
At Wigan.
Oh, Wigan will win that one. Wigan will win that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just very, very poor. Very poor. I think we've just got one game to cover now, haven't we, from the round?
The shock.
Let me down. We're all set for 6 out of 6.
For 6 out of 6.
And after 6 minutes, I were in the.
And you thought after 20 minutes or however long it would.
Well, they're 12-0 up after 7 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And then 18-6 up after 20 minutes or whatever it was. And I thought this is easy. I was listening to it. I couldn't go because I was working on Sunday, but I was listening to it on Radio Leeds, and they seemed to be cruising.
You weren't just listening to it on Radio Leeds, were you?
No, I was looking at your tweets as well.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
I can't believe she's just said she followed it on Radio Leeds rather than my fantastic commentary.
You weren't commentating. You were just.
I were doing live, minute by minute updates, live commentary at game.
No, but I wouldn't call it commentary. It
I
was
would.
like social media updates. I was following them, but I was listening to it as well. So.
I think there's a bit of an
Pipe down.
I were actually in the box with the coaches, Lee Gilmore and Chris Chester, and when they scored that first try after 50 seconds or whatever it was, after a minute, he says worst thing that could have happened, that with a few explicits in there as well, like, because
they seemed to from what I
know,
obviously you were there, but listening to it on the radio,
following my tweet,
following your tweets. It just seemed like they took the foot off the gas a bit,
they
just got a bit cocky.
The London wanted it more. They had a lot more about them. The middle unit, Eddie Batty,
phenomenal,
absolutely outstanding. And he came on after about 20 minutes, and I think he only went off towards the end a little bit there when the game was won. But he were great, were Batty. Wakefield's forwards were just not good. As simple as that.
I think that's where people will write London off at their own peril, as you might say, because I feel like
I'm still absolutely 100% convinced that London will finish bottom.
Yes, no, I agree, but like against Wakefield, they seem more up for it. They've got nothing to lose. They'll go out there, they'll put it all on the line. They'll go out and just work hard, and I think that's where they'll cause a few upsets this year, and like they did on Sunday.
Yeah, well, when Chris Chester said that worst thing that could have happened, scoring, because a lot's been the talk has sort of been pre-match. Look, don't be complacent. They're in Super League for a reason. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. When we scored them 2 tries after 7 minutes or whatever it was, he was panicking a little bit there, and he kept saying, "Go on, get that third one. We need this so I can relax a little bit." And he kept reiterating that, because that just sort of put Wakefield in a comfort zone. And in London, they were never ever throughout the 80 minutes going to give in, even though they got off to a nervous start. And it was nervous. The first they kicked off to London, and the second play they put the ball down straight away. So we could tell they were nervous, but they were never ever going to give in, and they out-infused Wakefield on Sunday, and it's a shame, because there were almost 1,000 fans travel from Wakefield to watch London. Packed it out, created a great atmosphere. I think disappointment is an understatement. I thought after 12-0 to capitulate like they did is worrying. They've a lot of improvement to make on Sunday.
I think I think I'd be a bit annoyed as well if I were a Wakefield fan going down there and spending however many hours of my day travelling down and then watching that and then coming back. It just sounded like they were at the races, apart from that opening 10 minutes. And look, they've got and do you know what? They'll go and beat St Helens on Sunday.
That's the crazy thing about it. That's the crazy thing about it.
I've said that. Well, when I was at work on Sunday listening to it, I said we'll go and beat St Helens on Sunday.
It wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me at all. And just on that, while we're on Wakefield, some sad news at the beginning of the week. A lifelong Wakefield fan, 70 years of age, Michael Hope, sadly lost his life at the weekend. Which is a great shame. He was a great bloke. I knew Michael, and we're always great to have a chat to her in and around the ground, and a nice, polite man who wore Wakefield through and through. So rest in peace, Michael, and our best wishes go to his son Chris Hope, and the rest of the Hope family as well. And the best, it'd be great if on Sunday Wakefield can get that win for him. Get that win for him against. It's going to be tough, isn't it? It's going to be tough.
But like I said, it'll be just Wakefield all over. They'll lose against London, and they'll go and beat.
I think just while we're on that, and I've said it a lot and things. I think we need to try and maybe get a few more minutes out of Kyle Wood. That's just my opinion. I think he
always changes the game.
He gave us a spark. He gave us a spark when he came on. He made the initial break that got us downfield, and in the next set, used his pace and his deception from dummy half there to cross, and he was tough defensively as well. He hit him hard as well. He's only a small lad, but he hits him hard, and he's a good player. He's Woody. He's one of the best hookers in competition.
And I think he's one of our. He doesn't really get talked about much.
I don't know why. Because I always talk about it.
And you've got your Tom Johnsons who get all the plaudits, and Bill Tupper obviously in the Dream Team last year.
He won't have a worse game than what he had on Sunday, Bill.
But Kyle Wood for me comes on. I would still stay with that decision. Obviously starting Randall at hooker and then bringing on Kyle Wood, but like you said, I'd bring him on a bit earlier, because he just changes the game when he comes on, adds a bit of spark, adds a bit of pace, and I've always liked him. I think he's quality.
Yeah, quality player. Be interesting to see what.
To see what changes he makes, if any, on.
I think he'll make a few.
On Sunday. I think
one guaranteed change. Chubbs will come straight back in to 17. Obviously, didn't want to risk him on that. He could have played at a push, but didn't want to risk him on that 4G pitch with the knee injuries he's had in the past, which is understandable. He will make a difference. He'll hit him hard, and he'll add that grunt up front and that size, and he's got a good offloading game as well. But a player that just give the positives, a few positives, if any, that there were. Is the first 15 minutes that Kopchak played, he was great. Scored a try, carried the ball really well. And I mentioned in commentary that he's got a strange running style. He seems to run out but curve back in with his shoulders, and it's strange but effective. And he's going to be a good signing. George King was fairly quiet. He struggled a little bit. I think he got through that much work in the first 10, 12, 15 minutes. After that, he was struggling a little bit.
Well, I think he needs to does need to make some changes on Sunday, and I'm sure he will, because clearly they weren't good enough at the weekend.
No. I'm trying to think who else could potentially come in. I think maybe Justin Horrow might come in, just to maybe just give us that option of he can play back row, he can play middle, and I think just to keep some players on and give him an opportunity, because there were a few players there that didn't help themselves. Shall we say? So it'll be interesting to see how many changes he makes, and another player who's had a good season, who 18th man, Joe Arundel. He's always unlucky to miss out, but you can't grumble with that.
It's always going to be difficult for Arundel to get in the side when you've got Riesling and you've got Bill Tupou.
But Lynn and Tupou need to start hitting the straps, because if they don't, Joe will come in and do a good job.
But it's only been one game, hasn't it? So I'm sure they will do as the season goes on.
There's still a bit of work to do there with just a few timing issues as well, with Hampshire coming in at fullback and things like that. We just need to tidy up in that areas, but they'll only get better as the game with more game time they get. And Saints coming on Sunday will be a tough one, but
we'll go on to our predictions. We'll have a song
that one,
because we've got no more games to talk about.
Well, we'll give us while we're on Wakefield and Saints, we'll just give us Wakefield prediction now before we have a song, we have to come back to it. I'll go, because we have to give a correct score, don't we? I'll go Wakefield 22. I'll go Wakefield 22, Saints 26. So Saints to win.
Are you writing these down, love?
Yeah, I'll write them down.
You write them down, love. So what have you just gone for?
Wakefield 22.
Yeah.
Saints 26.
I
hope not. But I just can't see it. I think Saints are going to be great.
I can't see. I've just said, I can see Wakefield going on and winning, but I'm not going to put my neck on the line, and I'm going to go Wakefield 16. Saints 22.
Saints 22. So you've got a 6-point gap. I've got 4. We'll have a song, and then we'll bring the rest of his predictions.
So you're listening to Connor and Zoe's Wednesday night kickabout, live on Smile Radio.
What song we got now?
LMA, you won't have heard this either.
No, I know. I think I have. What's it go like?
You can listen.
Sing it for me, Zoe.
I'm not singing.
Come on, sing it, Zoe.
No.
Go on, sing it.
No, that's not the name of the song.
Go on,
That's
sing
the
it.
artist.
Sing it for us.
No.
Well, it goes something like this.
Yeah, feelings so deep in my feelings. Notice they ain't really like me. Can't control my anxiety. Feeling like I'm touching the ceiling. When I'm with you, I can't breathe. Boy, you do something to me. Get me high like you do, yeah. Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do. Listen to my heart go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do. It just won't stop, it go ba-do, boot up. Beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do, it just won't stop, it go. How many ways can I say that I need you, baby, it's true. I think I might die without you. Feeling all over my body. You know how I like it. Ain't gotta tell you what to do, yeah. Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do, yeah. Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do. Listen to my heart go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do. It just won't stop, it go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do. It just won't stop, it go. Head over heels in love, right in front of you, ain't gotta look no more, baby. I wanna build this love, and everything you own, you ain't gotta ask for. You got me boot up, boot up, boot up, boot up. So you from the jump, I don't wanna choose you. Got me boot up, boot up, boot up, boot up. Grab me by the waist, baby, pull me closer. Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do, yeah. Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do. Listen to my heart go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do. It just won't stop, it go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go ba-do, boot up, beady-da-do. It just won't stop, it go. This is such a crazy feeling, though. I don't want to get too attached, but I feel like I already am.
Baby ba-do, ba-da. Yeah, I tell you what, Zoe.
I guess I should listen to my heart.
These two songs that you've picked today,
They're not James Blunt. are
they're
they?
no James Blunt.
We're not having James Blunt.
Better than Badu Badu or whatever. Badu
You've just
Badu.
you've got no taste
Over
in
up.
music.
Over up, Badu.
Boot up, boot
Well,
up.
you pick them next
Advertising
time then, love.
dating websites, Badu.
Ooh, tempers
What
are
dating
fraying.
websites have you been on?
Boot up, boot up. I thought we were reference to putting your boots on.
All right, back on rugby. Hull FC Cass on Thursday.
We're clipping. Back off the mic.
Hull FC Cass on Thursday.
Cass.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cass. It's at the KC, so you can never write off Hull, but I'm going to go Hull 18. No, sorry, Hull 16. I don't know why have I just meant not 2 points off. Don't make a great difference. Hull 16, Cass 28.
Ooh.
Hull 18, Cass 24.
There we go. Nice and easy.
Mhm.
Cass to extend to double the points. Friday, Wigan Leeds.
Wigan.
I've gone Wigan as well. Wigan quite convincingly. I'm going to go Wigan 28, Leeds 12.
Oh, I just had in my head 26-12.
Is that what we're going for?
26-12, yeah.
26-12. There we go. I'm just jotting them down. Saturday, there's 2 games on Saturday, both on telly. So it's a double header on Saturday. Warrington, Hull KR.
And Catalans.
And Catalans, Huddersfield. So Warrington, Hull KR first. I'm going to go Warrington to win 26-10.
I'm going to go 32-10. 32-12.
12.
Yeah.
Okay. Ba-do, ba-da, ba-da.
See, you've got it in your head.
Catalans, Huddersfield.
Boot up.
I'm going to go Catalans by 28. So I'm going to go Catalans 38, Huddersfield 10.
Interesting.
I'm just not buying Huddersfield, sorry.
I'm going to go not as big a scoreline as that. I'm going to go 28-16 to Catalans.
Catalans 28, Huddersfield Giants 60. Sound like Sky Sports News.
BBC News.
Sunday, we've done Wakefield Saints, Salford and London at the AJ Bell. I'm going to go Salford to win 34-14.
I'm going to go London. No, I'm not going to go London. I'm going to go Salford 32, London 22.
22, so you go.
Yeah, I think they've got.
Margin.
Yeah, I think they've got
20-point margin.
a few scores in them.
There we go. So there
Can't
we
write
are.
London off, as we've learnt from Sunday.
So we've done 6 predictions.
You're in front by 4 points.
So at the minute,
I've got.
so how many did I get? 5. So I'm on 10 points and you're on 6.
Have we gone? We've gone the same though, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. That's rubbish.
Yeah.
That. Let me have a look.
So we've gone the same. So.
Right. Well, I'm gonna. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
What?
change. I'm gonna throw a spanner in the works.
Right.
I'm gonna reverse the scoreline I picked for Wakefield Saints, and I'm gonna go Wakefield 26-22 to win. To bounce back. Wakefield
I knew you
26,
were
Saints
gonna say
22.
that.
So there we go. We're not all same.
Right.
Get in.
The mighty train.
The mighty train.
They will
They're
do.
gonna
They'll go and win.
They're going to bounce back. And just quickly, I want to speak about one game in the Championship. Bradford and Fev.
Yeah.
Bradford winning
17-16.
17-16, and they should not have won Bradford at all. Because I've seen a video on Facebook. A try got given to a Bradford player, and it was the most blatant no try you will ever see in your life. The ball was kicked. They were chasing the ball, and they've slid prior to the line. Obviously, with a mud bath at Odsill, and he's touched the ball about a metre before the line, and it's gone forward. And I think Luke Briscoe's come across then, and he's kicked the ball out of play. And Bradford players go, yeah. Hands up in air and everything. Hands up in air. Yeah. Hands up in air. And referee, it just looks to his touch judge, and Steve Ganston style just went, poured down to sport. Fev fans are going absolutely crazy. And when you watch it back, actually, it's a
it
clear
wasn't,
no try. So Fev are done by, but they'll have some promising signs
Well,
there. For
yeah,
Fev.
I mean, I didn't think it'd be as close as it was.
I think conditions
it was
played a big part.
And obviously there was all the distraction before the start of the season. New head coach now. Didn't look like they were gonna be able to field a first team come the start of the season, but they've made a few good signings.
Got a lot on Joe Reg in the leads.
Yeah.
Jack Orman, Roy played, Josh Walters,
Yeah,
Harry
exactly.
Newman, Luke Briscoe.
Yeah.
So
And they've brought that Cameron King over as well. He looks all right.
Callum Turner from Cass at full.
Yeah. So could be an all right season for them. Better than what we first would have predicted. But we'll see.
Hard done by. Should have won that.
But
Should have won that.
they haven't, and that's it. We move on. So we'll see. Who've they got? Oh, they've got Batley this weekend.
They'll
At
beat
Fev.
Batley.
Yeah. Now Batley have got a good side. So we shall see.
So before we finish, obviously we've seen about Ben Barba
Oh yeah.
and what's gone off there. What do you think? This Super League have come out and RFL have come out and said
Well,
they're going to
good.
block a move.
So what's happened is allegedly.
But that's the big thing. Allegedly, if this were any other player, let me just ask you a question, right? It's probably happened. I'm not condoning it for any minute or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, it's a funny situation because if it were any other player that had been allegedly accused of this, wouldn't any club or everybody say you're innocent until proven guilty and stick by your player? So there must be some. That's what I'm saying is there must be some concrete truth in it.
Yeah.
Because
otherwise,
it's
they wouldn't
unfair
just
dismissal.
be. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
unfair dismissal if he's allegedly done it and it's not been proven.
Yeah, so he's allegedly
So what's he going to do now?
abused his wife at a his partner at.
Well, they must
the
have been seeing him do
casino.
it on CCTV.
Yeah,
Then. He's got to have been.
So it just does seem a bit why they sacked him straight away, but he's not even played a game for them. And RFL have said that they'll block him from coming back over here, so it looks like his career could be over.
Wonder what he's going to do. Will he go play rugby union?
Possibly NFL.
Might go play rugby union.
I wouldn't surprise me if he did. But it's just, I mean, over in Australia, there's been countless. The off season in Australia has just been ridiculous with the amount of allegations against players and stuff. And they just need to get their act together. How hard is it to go out and have a drink and not act like a complete idiot?
Yeah.
I think
So you're not going to just. Oh,
it's a valid point, Zoe. Valid point.
yeah. If you can't drink and you can't behave yourself, then don't do it. And especially that you're in the spotlight and you've got all eyes on you basically.
He's a fruit loop, isn't he? He's just a fruit loop.
Just don't do it. It's not normal behaviour. So for me, I fully agree with the ban. If it is proven.
He'll go to Fev will sign him. Didn't say championship, did they?
But I just think it's ridiculous.
Well,
That's my
take
on it.
On that bombshell, I think all that's left to do is to say thank
Goodbye,
you.
good night, and we'll see you next week.
And we may be extending the show out. Maybe,
Yes,
maybe next
we were
week,
just.
so
We've actually cut out football for the last 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
there's always a lot to talk about in football world. So we hopefully can extend it and speak a bit more about football.
Yeah. So you've been listening to Connor and Zoe's Wednesday Night Kickabout live on Smile Radio. If you've missed this show or any others, you can go to www.smileradio.co and go to On Demand and listen to all the other shows plus this one. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Tune
you.
in again next week.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Tune in again next week
Yeah.
when Wakefield celebrate the first win of the season.
And we'll leave you with Connor's karaoke song.
Here's my story, it's sad but true. It's about a girl that I once knew. She took my love, then ran around with every single guy in town. Hey, hey, whoa. Whoa. run around.